Gentlemen, is it possible to find a decent t-shirt for $5? The answer? Yes, and in fact, I found you 3. First up, coming in at $4, we've got Bella and Canvas. And what are people saying about Bella and Canvas? Under $5, lasts well, has lots of colors, and for me, fits well. Now, if you're willing to go up to $5, you got a couple options here. First up, Gildan. What do the reviews say? Gildan. 100% cotton. Overall, normal. Nothing really good, nothing really great. But for the discerning $5 t-shirt buyer, look to Goodfellows and Company. If you're not in the know, this is a Target brand, so you can walk into your local Target and find these shirts. And what are people saying? Honestly, Goodfellow and Company make great t-shirts. Their only knock is that their sizing can be inconsistent sometimes, but for $5, they hold up well. The next price point, $10. And let's look at the George brand that can be found over at Walmart. Now, what are people saying in the comments? Honestly, lately I've had great luck with the George brand from Walmart. Don't knock it until you try it. And personally, with the George brand, I find that their shirts are decent. The same thing with Goodfellows and Company. And both of these, what I love is you could just walk into any one of these box stores and grab them. I know a lot of you guys stay away from those stores because, it's like, are they really going to have quality clothing? Sometimes you can find some diamonds in the rough. Next up at the $10 price point, Decathlon. Now the comment here is saying that my favorites are the light muscle t-shirts from Decathlon. Some nice textures in the knit that provide some good vertical lines and paneling. And most importantly, snug around the midsection so the furls on my Power Belly 6-pack can show through. So it sounds like this guy is wearing the shirt tight. And if that's your thing, if it looks good on you, you got the body for it, go for it. Now, what about $15? Guys, here's where we start getting some options. So first up, we've got Next Level by Amazon. I personally like a lot of the Amazon basics because I see what Amazon's doing. They look at what sells well, what has high margins, and then they're getting into it. And at the end of the day, you actually get sometimes a decent deal. Do you actually get that with Next Level? Well, Andy in Atlanta says you are. In fact, he says he's been with Next Level for years, originally grabbed their V-necks when that was more the style, and now they're crew necks. In general, it sounds like he's happy, and so check him out. Next up in the $15 category, we've got Jack and Jones. Now, he didn't tell what his body type was, but he said that the Jack and Jones was perfect for his body type, and he thinks they're cheap. Another gentleman jumped in and said, hey, Jack and Jones are great. These clothes are going to last you for years. So some people, saying great things about them. Next up, we've got Roundtree and York. And if you're familiar with Dillard's, this is one of their store brands. It's been around for years. I remember seeing this, 20 years ago. Vegan Velociraptor, he says that he's wearing a Roundtree and York shirt from Dillard's right now, and it's almost perfect. The waist is slim, the armholes are high and tiny, but the sleeves themselves seem to have been designed for Popeye. So if you've got the arms, you got the guns for it, check out Roundtree and York. Apparently, they make decent t-shirts. Now at the $15 to $20 mark, you've got True Classic tees. And what's interesting is you've got to buy these in sets. And it seems like this is a pretty darn good shirt for about 15 to 20 bucks, depending on how many you grab and in what style. And gents, to make this easy for you, down in the description of today's video, I'm going to link over to an article at Real Men Real Style that's going to have all of these companies and links to them listed out. Really, I'm just trying to make a useful guide, which if you haven't checked out my website, we have got tons of great ebooks, useful guides, quizzes, just information if you want to dress better. We've got like 2,000 articles there. So if you want to go deep in what I talk about here on the channel, you definitely want to check out our website. And one of the best things you can do is just simply join our email list. That way you're kept abreast of the latest videos, articles. When we release content, you will be in the know. Coming in at 20 bucks, we've got Uniqlo. Now, this Japanese brand has been making waves for years, and people in the comments are saying definitely Uniqlo, high quality, cheap shirts. Now, if you happen to be in one of their stores and you see the Supima cotton tees or you see the Uniqlo U tees, know that a random person named Teriyaki said that the U shirts are apparently much better quality. Overall, though, people do say that they're using heavier materials. They're a bit boxy. So if you want something for the summer, lightweight, maybe not the best choice. Now, what about the Gap? Yeah, the Gap's got t-shirts for 20 bucks, but how do they measure up? In general, what people are saying is they got more of a relaxed fit. You're going to find some 100% cotton, but you want to make sure you get the fit right and understand when you wash it, it's going to shrink. Now, what about Fruit of the Loom? Yeah, you can find t-shirts for 20 bucks, sometimes definitely below that if you find sales. Fruit of the Loom, for a lot of people, they're just saying it's middle of the road. Honestly, they're fine. They're not amazing, but they're good enough quality for the price. And what about H&M for 20 bucks? Well, this is one where we were finding a lot of negative comments. People are saying that their quality is getting worse and worse, creased-like materials, thin or shiny or very weird cuts. They cut oversized and boxy. Now what about 25 bucks? What are your options here? Well, if you want to spend 25 or maybe a little bit more, check out J. Crew. Now if you're a really tall guy, you're going to love J. Crew because you can order an extra long for about the same price. So yeah, definitely check them out. Another gentleman says he loves J. Crew with the slim fit. So if you're a thinner guy, J. Crew may be a great option for you. Now what about Lucky Brand? You guys are probably familiar with the jeans, but they've got a wide range of shirts, oftentimes at about the $25 price point, or you can find some more expensive ones on sale at about that price point. People are saying good things about the shirts. They really like the fades. A lot of people talked about their Henleys, and when I'm talking shirts, understand I'm not just talking crew neck and V-neck t-shirts. I'm talking Henleys as well, like what I'm wearing right here. Next up, we got BYLT. I was actually totally unfamiliar with this brand, but I went and checked them out, and yeah, people are saying nice things. One gentleman said, hey, I got 3 BYLT shirts, and they really do fit and feel nice. I was surprised. Now, what if you want something more military styled for about 25 bucks? Check out Rothko. Rothko, great military style tees, great for bodybuilders like myself. So if you're shopping over at Rothko, understand they fit tight, they fit small. Now, what about Madewell? So I couldn't find really anything good being said about Madewell. One gentleman was talking about holes, so if you see this brand out there, you may want to skip over them. Now, what about Salty Crew? Another brand I had never heard of, but apparently, as a high school kid, I like Salty Crew because it makes me look like a middle-class blue-collared worker. I didn't realize that was a whole style, but apparently it is. So at this point, we're now getting into the $30 range, so let's talk about Bronson Manufacturing Company. Now, apparently these are overpriced unless you speak Chinese and you're buying them on the Chinese website, which one gentleman said that is where you're going to get the real China pricing. And by the way, gents, today's video is not sponsored by any of these t-shirt companies, so I'm just saying whatever. That being said, buy at your own risk. Next up, we got Everlane for 30 bucks, and Aventator22 said it reminds him of a fresh Gildan shirt from high school, but with more weight. It was scratchy initially, but has softened slightly after about a year of washes. He went on to say he didn't think it was worth it. I'm actually impressed that he gave it a year to actually make this determination, but yeah. It is what it is. Next up, let's move into the $40 range, and now we have Reese. So Mr. Qualtrol says that they are fantastic. The shirts are made really nice. I'm sure you could go to like Gives and Hawks or some Savile Row place if your goal was to get the greatest shirt ever. Yeah, but the Reese one fits slim, reasonably priced, and is good quality. Next up, we've got Jockey, and I know a lot of people think undershirts. You want to make sure you're not buying a Jockey undershirt if you want to wear it as an outer shirt, but a lot of people are saying that they are better quality than even Calvin Klein, Hanes, and Fruit of the Loom. Now, what about Mott & Bow? You may have heard of them when it comes to jeans, but they also make shirts. Well, one gentleman said that, hey, he got the 2XL, great material, almost perfect for me, but the length is a bit short. Only 29 inches after a wash. Oh, I hate it when that happens. No one wants a short shirt. Next up, we've got Hanes. You may be surprised to see them at the $40 price point here, but understand that I put these in ranges. I probably could have put them right at the very beginning because they do have inexpensive undershirts that they sell. But when it comes to t-shirts, people are still saying good things. Personally, I think if you can find Hanes on sale and you have experience with the fit, it works for your body type, then yeah, look at it. But I think there are better options if you want something that you're going to wear as outerwear. Now, what about David Gandy well-wear t-shirt? Another brand I knew really nothing about, but the comment I did find said that they are dynamite. The Ultimate Crew has a great mixture of material as well as an antimicrobial technology. Next up, we've got Express. 40 bucks. Again, I'm not sure I would spend 40 bucks for an Express shirt, just my experience with the brand in general. But I think if you look around, you can maybe find a deal. And I will say, you've got to, at the end of the day, make the decision yourself. Don't go buy 5 shirts at the same time. Or make sure they got a good return policy if that's the case. But take something in, wear it once, inspect it, wash it, and you're responsible for whatever you buy. So make sure that you're buying quality. Next up, we've got the Tailored Athlete. Again, didn't even know this brand existed, but I really like what they're doing. So hands down, no one does a V-taper like them. So obviously, this is a specialty brand. If you have a huge drop, if you've got a big chest, you've got a small waist, if you take care of yourself, you're a weightlifter, you're a bodybuilder, this may be the brand that you've been looking for. Sticking with the 40 bucks, let's talk about Banana Republic. You can walk in, you can check them out. Deported Fob, he said that this is personally the shirt that he wears as his go-to basic tee. If you've got an athletic build, then the shirt is going to fill in really well. I'd have to agree. In my experience, Banana Republic makes some pretty good t-shirts. And I love it, again, when you can find them on sale. Now, what about American Giant? What are people saying out there? I found Insomnia. He said that the premium slub t-shirts are substantial, and I often wear these alone or under flannels or similar roomy top layers. The classic cotton t-shirt is much thinner and well suited for wearing as an undershirt. I don't know, for 40 bucks, this really doesn't sound too promising. Anyone have experience with this brand? Again, let me know in the comments below. Next up, we got Cuts Clothing, and I'm wearing their gear right here. Again, not sponsored, but I'd say I really like the buttery, and that's exactly what somebody said here in the comments. At 48 bucks, I can see where the marketing budget comes from, but I am impressed by the buttery fabric, the stretch, how low maintenance it is, and the fit. Next up, Calvin Klein. At 50 bucks, I think that Calvin Klein is a little bit overpriced, maybe more than just a little bit. Their shirts to me are relatively thin. This is my experience having a few of them. I wouldn't buy them again. That being said, maybe you guys have a different opinion. Maybe they're your go-to. If you disagree, let me know. Maybe you're Marky Mark. You disagree down in the comments. I love hearing from you. Now, what about Asket? This is a brand that really flies under the radar for people, but people are saying great things about them, especially the fit. The fit is what shined through the most for me. This was snug in all the right places, but left just enough room in the stomach area without looking sloppy. Now, if you're over in Europe or in the United States in a large city, you're going to see Hugo Boss, a German brand that's been around for a long time. And I even talk about their Nazi connection in one of my other popular videos. But Hugo Boss, I think you can find some great deals, but wait for the discounts. At 50, 65 bucks, yeah, don't be buying a t-shirt from them. And a lot of these companies, by the way, the secret ninja technique is to get on their email list because they are going to let people know. They sometimes even have a text list, which they put out some of the best deals. If you can deal with the marketing, just look for the deals, especially coming up here on Black Friday, right? Now, gents, if you think it's crazy to spend over 50 bucks on a t-shirt, do me a favor, smash that like button. I'm in this camp, but I definitely know there are people out there that love their t-shirts. I am not knocking anyone for buying and spending their money however they want, but yeah, it just seems I have so many great shirts that, yeah, 50 bucks, maybe a little bit more for a Henley or a polo shirt or something like that, but yeah, definitely not over 100. It's got to be a good shirt for 100. So next up, we got the $50 to $60 range, and there's a few brands right here. We've got Verori, we've got Hilfiger, and Lululemon. Now, the comment we did find about Verori said that he thought they were worth it. He hadn't had a bad experience. When it comes to Hilfiger, especially if you want a slimmer fit, everyone was saying, hey, you're going to get a baggy fit from these guys, and I do think they're resting on their laurels. Now, with Lululemon, I love their clothing, especially their pants, and their shirts are no exception. Yes, you may not have known that about me, but I love their performance pants. Aaron Marino thinks it's funny when I go to visit him that we actually go to the Lululemon there in Atlanta. And their t-shirts, again, if you can find one that works for you, I like them because they just seem to last. They go through like just dozens and dozens and dozens of washes. Now in the $60 range, we got a few brands. We've got Good Life, Todd Snyder, Reigning Champ, Lady White Company. Now one gentleman is saying, hey, Good Life, this is the best t-shirt I've ever owned. I wasn't really familiar with them, but anyone with experience, again, let us know down below. Now, unfortunately, Todd Snyder wasn't getting high marks. One gentleman is saying, you know what? I thought my expensive Todd Snyder shirt would be better quality than my J. Crew. It wasn't. Reigning Champ, everyone was screaming about quality. These guys get it done. They love all of their clothing. And so if anyone's familiar with Reigning Champ, I'm not, but it seems like really people like their build. Now, what about the Lady White Company? It's kind of an interesting name, and people are saying, hey, the build quality is there, the design, but the fabric. A lot of people weren't liking their t-shirt fabric, and that is key. Whenever you touch a shirt, you know, you want the right weight. And this is where shirts are so, people can be so mercurial all over the board when it comes to finding the right t-shirt. Why it's so difficult, but when you find that brand and you find that right material and you get a great deal, load up, buy a few of them. Next up, coming in at about $60, $65, we have Lacoste. And you're probably familiar with this French brand. You got the crocodile. In case you don't know, this guy in the 1920s or the founder, René Lacoste. He was an avid tennis player, and they're really known for their polos, but their t-shirts are nice, very similar to the polos. Some people may argue they're overpriced, but the cotton is really soft, and a lot of people just swear by the fit. Easy to find in Europe, a little bit harder in the United States, but definitely a brand. If you're a big fan of the polos, go ahead and look to pick up the t-shirt. Next up, let's look at all the options from $70 to $100. So we got Ralph Lauren, Standard Issue, Wood, Mason Kitsun, CDLP, Unbound Merino, Percival, Sunspell, and 316. Now, when it comes to Ralph Lauren, nobody seems to be really saying bad things about them. They'll say bad things about the company, but when it comes to the fit, the overall build of the t-shirt, it seems like this is one of those brands that hasn't rested on their laurels, continues to put out a good t-shirt. Standard Issue, I couldn't find too much information about them. People are just saying it's a standard t-shirt, but you're going to get the brand with it. So I don't know. Wood, a brand I wasn't familiar with, but people are saying great things except for the price. But they're like the quality, second to none. But you got to stomach that, that price point. Sunspell isn't getting the best reviews. Some people are saying, if it was $40, I'd grab it. But yeah, close to 80, 90, no. Percival, I love the name, but no one's really saying much about these guys. The one comment I could find said, hey, I'm not going to pay $75 for this, maybe 40, but I don't know. That was the most info I could find. Next up, Unbound Merino. I do own these shirts, and I will say that overall, I like them. But if you throw them in your dryer, they're going to get smaller, which makes sense with merino wool. I mean, you should know this, but it just happens in my house that sometimes shirts get grabbed off of my bed and thrown into the wash. They also become a little bit matted and heavy. That being said, they don't shrink as much as I thought they would. They still look really good. The bad thing is that they do attract a lot of lint because they're made from wool. But if you want something that's got some thermal properties to it and something that just looks really good and does a good job of not picking up smell, then Unbound Merino is pretty cool. Next up, we've got Blue Salt. And this is primarily a woman's brand, but they do have some t-shirts. And it seems like a lot of guys are getting this gift from their wife. Relatively, pricey, $100, but you can find them on sale, $70. Just join their list. But all the guys that have received this are saying, I love the fit. I love the feel of the fabric. If you have ever tried Blue Salt, again, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. You guys are helping make this video even better. Officine Generale, another French brand with, fancy European prices. Now, again, you can find these on sale, and with European brands in general, they are going to fit a little bit more trim. They're not going to have as wide of fits as we see in the United States. Now, if you happen to be in Paris, you can stop in and actually get your hands on these t-shirts. So if you're traveling, you're looking for a really nice t-shirt in Paris, hey, go check them out. Now, at about the $145 price point, you're going to find Rag and Bone. And if you've got a thinner build, if you've got a thinner profile, a lot of people are raving about this. Again, it's always great when you get this on discount, but one guy's saying, hey, I picked up 3 of them because they fit me, they look good, and I love the material. All right, Jen, so with the $180, $190 price point, I've got 3 companies here. We have Anthology, we have Stenstrom's, and we have APC. I'm just going to be straight here. All the reviews, a lot of the things I was reading about all 3 of these companies, everyone's saying it's not really worth the money. All right, now let's shoot past $200. I got a few companies here. We have Rude, Tom Ford, and Dolce & Gabbana. Now, if you're going to get a Rude shirt, apparently the F1 is where it's at. Everyone is saying that, hey, this thing is solid. They use good materials. The workmanship, the fit, the material is good. You should expect that for a $200 t-shirt. Now, with Tom Ford, you're going to find his shirts are all over the place. They do really small runs. And if you are big into fashion and you want to, I have to say, I absolutely love Tom Ford stuff. Now, you will be able to find some of his t-shirts, $100, but $200 is where you should expect to spend, especially if you're buying it in a Tom Ford store. If it even starts to have any buttons on it like a Henley, expect that to be a couple $100. Longer sleeve shirts, $50 to $100 premium on that. Yes, for just simply, again, the name, the label, the design. The same thing for Dolce & Gabbana. You are paying for a fashion brand. You're wearing a Dolce & Gabbana. This is going to be a print t-shirt. This is going to be something that nobody else is going to be rocking. Those that are in the know or those that you think are in the know are going to recognize this. Dolce & Gabbana really didn't do it for me, but I know some people are into these shirts. And if you are, I would love to hear from you down in the comments why you're into this type of fashion. Again, it's just not my style. So at about the $300 to $500 price point, we are going to see the brand Off-White. And again, those prices are just starting. What you're paying for is a particular design from an artist who decided to price it at this point. And again, it's a status. It's saying you have an Off-White t-shirt. And let's not forget about Yves Saint Laurent. Again, that classic French brand that just screams status. It's all about the signal that you're sending. Starting about the $400 price point, you got Brunello Cucinelli. If you want a Jill Sanders shirt, $450 starting price point. Gucci, a little bit cheaper, $400, but definitely shooting up pretty darn quick. And of course, the classic British brand, Burberry, they're jumping into the t-shirt game, starting at $500. And let's not forget Dior at $500. Zegna, starting off at about $600 for a shirt. Laura Piana, you're going to be paying $400 to $1,000 for a t-shirt. And of course, Prada doesn't want to be outdone, $1,400 for a t-shirt. Now, gents, if you enjoyed this video, you're going to love this one in which I break out jean styles and brands. Just like this, I go through from least expensive to most expensive. I got like 50 or 60 jean brands that I went through in this video. You are going to enjoy it, especially if you're looking for a great deal with, everything going on with inflation. You are going to love this video.